Hi, I'm Daniel, I'm a sleep physician, and if you have insomnia, this channel is for you. Today, the first out of 2 videos where we're going to get to know what Toine is going through. In this video, we're going to try to answer some questions he has about how to associate the bed with sleep rather than wakefulness. So first of all, Toine, thank you for your comment and your emails. I really want to thank you and Mark and Fun Universe, Katie, everybody who has contributed. I really feel like you sharing some of the troubles you have with sleep is what brings this channel life. Because instead of me just picking a random topic, we're talking about somebody that has real problems with sleep. And that being said, any advice from me here is general advice. You yourself or together with your doctor have to decide if what I talk about is applicable to you in your situation. That being said, let's dive right into an email I got from Toine 2 days ago. The story about Mark's sleep onset insomnia parallels my own. Basically, I forced myself to stay in bed whether I was sleeping or not in the hopes of at least getting some rest and to confront my sleep anxieties. This is one of the edicts espoused by Dr. Guy Meadows that I faithfully followed for several months. I credited ACT with lowering my sleep anxieties, reducing daytime tiredness, and encouraging mindfulness. However, your response to Mark strongly suggests that practicing ACT has unwittingly associated my bed with wakefulness. And for those of you not familiar with ACT and Guy Meadows, he's a sleep doctor that has written this book that I reviewed a few episodes ago, and he uses this technique he calls acceptance and commitment therapy. I found the book really interesting, and the only thing I found a little kind of conflicting with cognitive behavioral therapy, which I practice and I believe in, is that Guy Meadows and ACT says when you have a hard time sleeping, you should just stay in your bed, no matter what. And I felt that perhaps that could cause some problems. Particularly, it could cause you to associate the bed with insomnia and not sleeping. And this seems to have happened to Toine. Let's continue reading. My nights alternate between good, falling asleep fast, and bad, sleep onset problems. Besides getting out of bed, would increasing sleep pressure alleviate this association between wakefulness and bed? The short answer is yes. Sleep pressure can definitely help overcome an association of the bed and wakefulness. Let's develop that thought a little bit more. So sleep pressure is that hunger for sleep, that sleep drive, that need for sleep, that sleep pressure that we build during the day. And as we sleep, that sleep pressure or drive kind of dissipates, and then we start building it up again in the morning and as the next day progresses. Now, how can you help overcome an unhealthy association of the bed with wakefulness? Well, if you have a really strong sleep pressure, that can help you fall asleep quickly and stay asleep so that you, with time, again start associating the bed with sleep. How can you build sleep pressure? Well, really, unfortunately, there's no easy way. You simply have to maintain wakefulness for a good amount of time, typically, 17, 18 and a half, 19 hours, something in that time frame may be needed for a good, strong sleep pressure to overcome this unhealthy association that we're talking about. Let's continue reading. Or does the association reassert itself regardless? So what Toine is asking here is, if you have developed this association with the bed, with wakefulness and tossing and turning and insomnia, will that association kind of come back and no matter what you do? And the answer to that is, hopefully it won't. The hope using cognitive behavioral therapy techniques that this channel is about is that not only can you break that unhealthy association of the bed with wakefulness, but you build a healthy one. You start building a healthy association of the bed with sleep, and that association grows stronger and stronger and stronger with time. So that is the goal and the hope. That being said, everyone has a bad night. No matter how good you sleep, everyone goes through a night where they have a hard time falling asleep or staying asleep. And it's kind of like, I had a friend who was trying to stop smoking. He would quit, and then he would, once in a blue moon, he would have a cigarette. And then he said to me, the important thing is, even though I had this one cigarette, I don't consider myself a smoker anymore. It was kind of an anomaly. And I think that kind of mindset is good to have when it comes to insomnia too, that if you have had insomnia and you somehow were able to overcome your insomnia, and you have a bad night later on, don't think of it, or try not to think of it as, oh my gosh, my insomnia is back, but rather think of it as, everyone has a bad night here and there. That is hard to do, I totally get that, but I hope that's helpful advice. Now, the third and last question for this video: how long does it typically take to eliminate this association? So again, Toine is asking, how long does it take to eliminate the unhealthy association of bed and wakefulness? And hard to say. I think that depends a lot from person to person. But in my experience, like as I see patients with insomnia and do CBT, I think typically it's in the matter of weeks. You know, typically between 1, 2, and 3 weeks of using CBT, people are doing better, starting to associate the bed with sleep. And does that mean that the unhealthy association is, you know, completely eliminated and forever gone? No, but you've started the process of building a healthy association between the bed and sleep. One last thought. It sounds as if you, Toine, go through these cycles where you have a good night followed by a poor one, a better night, a worse one. I do hear a lot of patients in my clinic complaining of these type of cycles. More typically, it's like sleeping poorly, maybe 4 nights, 5 nights, and then having like 1 or 2 nights where they sleep much more. Either way, I think this may be applicable. Consider, you know, using a Robin Hood type strategy. You know, take from the rich and give to the poor. Meaning, on days where you have like recovery sleep or you're sleeping better, maybe trying, I know this is very hard, but maybe try and limit time in bed a little bit those nights, so that you hopefully have more sleep pressure for the poor nights. And this may not be like a long-term thing where you have a very restricted time in bed, but just until you break that association between, you know, the bed with wakefulness and tossing and turning, perhaps this Robin Hood strategy may be helpful. Thank you again for your comment and your emails, Toine, and thank you everybody else for watching. And after this first email from Toine, he sent me another one where he told me about wake therapy. Never heard of it for insomnia. Very interesting. So I want to talk about that and some other insights in a video that hopefully we'll be able to make in just a few hours. Until then, bye-bye.